Dude, that is the ultimate Saturday morning throwback.
I know. I was like, you knew it was gonna be a solid Saturday morning when that shit came on.
Yeah. I gotta take down the Egyptian gods now.
Hello and welcome to episode 18 of the Nothing to Play podcast, a mediocre podcast about video games, movies, and working overtime. As always, it's your boy, Just in Time Carter. And this week, got one of my favorite boys back on the podcast. He hasn't been on since episode 13, and then with the 3-month hiatus, that really didn't help. Tanner Coat.
Woo! What up? Ooh, episode 13. I feel special.
I know. Lucky number 13. And it was Friday the 13th yesterday. Coincidence? I think not.
Definitely not. And during the worldwide apocalypse, I think it was just perfect timing.
Dude, it's been fucking crazy. Like, I know I myself am also fucking sick of just hearing about it because everyone's talking about it. You can't go on Facebook and scroll, like, down the page without running into the coronavirus. But, it's like yesterday after fucking work, we went, because we're fine. Like, we have plenty of paper towels. We have, I think, enough toilet paper or whatever. But we need, like, more bottled water. And, like, we couldn't find any last weekend. And then this weekend, so it was, like, after work, we went to a couple different places to try and find fucking water. Even, like, went to Lowe's. And they had paper towels, but they didn't have toilet paper or water or anything like that. But we, like, drove all the way out to near the Target that I used to work out in bumfuck Scottsdale. And on the way there, there's a Fry's, and we stopped at that Fry's, and they actually had bottled water. So we got some bottled water for, like, us and for Megan's mom and stuff. But, like, I know Matt is running out of toilet paper. Megan's mom's running out of toilet paper. And we've yet to find, like, a place that, like, has toilet paper. Not even for us. I'm like, we're trying to fix shit up for other people.
Yeah, bro. I've got one spare roll left, and my wife's been online all morning looking at, like, stock at places, and she's like, oh, the Target across the street from us actually has toilet paper in stock. So before this podcast, I went over to Target, and I walk in, and there's just, like, 8 people walking by with, like, carts full of the shit. And I'm like, oh, God, are there going to be any left? And I walk down there, and there's, like, a massive conglomerate of people. And there was just a Target employee who was just handling the masses. And they were literally just bringing the pallets into the floor. And she would open up the boxes and hand them to people. And, I watched her go through the very last box of TP they had. And then they cut off me and 20 other people that were in front of me. So it was a failed trip. So, yeah, it's terrible. Like, I've been looking on Amazon, and they're completely out on Amazon. And then even last night, it was to the point of desperation. I was even, like, looking up bidets on Amazon, and they're out of bidets on Amazon.
Well, yeah, as soon as, like, the first person, like, brought it up on Facebook, everyone and their mom went on fucking Amazon and, like, bought out all the stock of that, too.
It was just, like, all the affordable bidets. Like, if you can get a $300 bidet if you want, but anything that's, like, under $100, dude, those are gone.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. Like, yeah, we were out until we didn't get home until 8 last night, going around doing that shit. I'm just like, dude, like, it's ridiculous. And then I see people this morning saying that, like, they were waiting outside of Fry's before they fucking opened at, like, 6:30 a.m. just to, like, be one of the first people to get in and, like, get toilet paper, which they did. But it's, like, cool. I was like, we're going grocery shopping tomorrow. So I'm like, I guarantee you they're still not going to have toilet paper tomorrow morning.
Oh, they won't.
When we go grocery
Well, from everything I've been saying, I haven't left my house in, like, 4 days. It was, like, the first time I left last night. But, like, yeah. Like, I've been seeing all these posts, and it's, like, they're just ramsacking the shelves of, like, everything. Like, even just, like, normal food and shit is, like, empty in the stores right now.
Oh, yeah, dude. When we went to Fry's last night, it was packed, and, like, people were, like, buying out, like, even at Sam's Club, they were buying diapers, like people with just pallets of like diapers and shit, and because there's no water, there's no paper towels, like the entire aisle they just have blocked off and it's just empty. Like it's all gone. And
Maybe that's the solution. Maybe we just need to start getting Depends and wearing diapers, and then we'll just use wet wipes to clean ourselves.
right, like that's what it's getting ready to come down to. But yeah, that's like Megan hasn't really been like I haven't been worried about the coronavirus itself or anything, and neither is Megan, but like all of a sudden, like yesterday, she's like worried about all the fucking crazy people just buying up everything, like with the food and shit like that. Like everyone's just hoarding, like starting to hoard now that we're out of like those main three resource whatever, everyone's starting to hoard other shit now because they can't get water, paper towels, or
Yeah, like, well,
anything.
what can I get? Okay, I'll get an industrial box of saltine crackers. Stop me.
Right? I'm just like, god damn, dude. But
Yeah, it's been pretty miserable. Like even like a week and a half ago when I went to the grocery store, they didn't have toilet paper then. I'm like, I'll be okay. And it hasn't gotten better. It's gotten worse.
But yes, besides wading through the apocalypse, how have you been?
Bored, just working like all the time. And then like a week ago, like last not yesterday but the Friday before, like our work told everybody like don't come back to the office on Monday. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I worked from home a lot last year, so I was ready for it, but I've never done I was doing like 4 10s when I was working from home, and I did like 2 days in the office last year, but like doing like 5 days in a row. And then I also happened to have signed up for like a boatload of overtime this week, so I've just been working like 13-hour days at my house, so I just haven't left at all. It's just been like storming all week, so like I've just done nothing but work for the last several days. Last night I finally left the house because like I was getting I finally finished work. I'm like, I'm not doing overtime today. I'm finally going to take a break. And then my wife texted me when she was coming home because she was one of the 7 crazy people who were still going to the office this week. And they told them yesterday it's like mandatory now. Like, we won't be seeing each other till May at the earliest. Everybody at work. So, like, she texted me on the way home. She's like, be ready when I get home. We're going to go get tattoos for Friday the 13th. And I've never done that before because I'm always in the mindset it's like I don't want to wait in line for hours for a small tattoo. I'd rather just pay full price and not have to deal with this shit. But it wasn't a bad experience. Like we did end up having to wait like 4 hours, but it like zipped by, and we were just going to like little restaurants around and stuff. So
Would
it
you
wasn't too bad.
What'd you get?
I got a film slate, so like commonly known as like a clapper on movie sets. Exactly. Yep. Yep. Cueing the take, the roll, and the sound and all that shit. So yeah, I got that on my arm now. It's fairly decent size.
Yeah.
It wasn't $13. It was 30, but I'll take it.
You're like, funny, I
It
didn't
was.
realize it was Friday the 30th.
Yep. Exactly. But I mean, they kind of got swindled. I mean, we've had like 3 Friday the 13th in the last like 6 months or something. It's been like insane. So I feel bad for those artists. They had to put up with that hell so many times in like a fairly short period of time. But yeah, I mean, as my overall first experience with something like that, it wasn't bad. But I'd just prefer to stick to the traditional way of getting tattoos. I'll pay $100 and just get a really nice one and not have to deal with the bullshit.
Yeah, it was like our next appointment is next Saturday, I think. And it's funny because, of course, it's the day after Animal Crossing is going to be coming out. So I'm going to get
Oh,
Tom.
perfect timing.
Exactly. I'm going to get Tom Nook on the inside of my arm right here.
Oh, hell yeah. Are you guys still like commuting to Cali to do those or no?
Stephanie is actually not in California anymore. She moved back here. So her like little shop thing is
Sweet.
out in, oh God, where the fuck is it? It's not. I mean, it's still like a little bit of a drive. I mean, not it's not California drive. It's maybe like half an hour. It's like I want to say like out in like Buckeye or like something like that. but it's not that
Oh,
bad.
okay. Yeah, definitely better than California.
Yeah,
Like I wasn't super into the sheets they had for the deals last night. I almost got they had like Gonzo the Great from the Muppets, and I almost got that, and I was gonna have him like creepily stare at my Mickey Mouse tattoo, but I talked myself out of it. Once I saw the film slate, I'm like, that's more appropriate. I'm just not really the type to have like really obnoxiously creepy and strange tattoos. Like I don't want to have to explain that to my kids one day.
right.
So yeah, and it's funny too because like we took a trip to Washington back in November, and I got my first like sketch tattoo because like every tattoo I'd gotten before I went to like somewhere like super professional, and like I'd done a ton of research, and they're pretty pricey, but you know I'm always a believer in the mindset of you get what you pay for.
Right.
So like I've always gone to like really nice places, and this was like we were in a small town in Washington, and we were just looking around for somewhere to get like Washington or foresty tattoos or whatever. And we went in, like one place they were like assholes, and we walked in and we're like, all right, fuck you guys. And we just went to like several others, and we just started running out of steam, and we're like, well, we'll just stop at this place. And it was like a hole on the wall, and it was by far the most painful tattoo I'd ever gotten. Like it was like it hurt, dude. It was like she was like scraping my skin off, and like yeah, the results a few months later were not as not super spectacular. So I've got my first like kind of like shitty tattoo. I'll have to get reworked at some point by somebody else.
Well, let me see. What'd you get?
I can't really show you. It's like on my leg, but it's like I could send you a pic, but it's like they're like mountains and trees,
Okay.
just like a typical like nature type of deal, and it's like symmetrical with my other calf, like a Harry Potter tattoo,
Uh
but
huh.
like the lining is like the shading is bad on the mountains, and like one of the trees just looks like a massive bush because there's no like trunk on the bottom of it. So it's just like flat on the ground, the leaves are out, and it goes up pine, but there's no fucking stump or, or trunk to see, so it's just like a really tall bush standing next to the mountains.
You're like, oh boy, my first cover up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've thought about it ever since I got it. Like, yeah, this is definitely going to get majorly reworked at some point in my life. An important thing right now, but yeah, definitely my first semi regrettable tattoo. That's for sure.
Oh man. Yeah, I was like, I'm excited to get tattooed next weekend. But yeah, dude, I've been working a fuck ton of overtime too. This this week when I proved my time card, it said that I had for my 2 week or whatever paycheck, it's like 93 hours. So I put in like
Hell
13
yeah,
plus hours of overtime this week.
absolutely. Yes, yeah, and it's kind of good timing. Like I put in like 22 hours of OT this week, so I'm at like 62 on the week or something like that, or 66. I worked a bunch last week, but I mean, good timing because we're about to be in a financial crisis. So,
Right?
like, I was having a big conversation about this yesterday because like we were want to get a house, but my wife didn't want to buy because she doesn't want to live in Arizona, so we didn't want to get like stuck here. But like, there's a good chance the housing market's going to crash along with the economy this year. So I'm like, if the houses are really cheap, maybe we should just buy, like guaranteed to make money a couple years down the line.
Well, I was like, as someone who works in mortgage, the rates are at an all-time low right now,
Hell yeah,
and it's
that's wonderful. It's
been
probably going to go lower this year.
yeah, dude, it's been crazy. Like I can't even tell you how many people like because we've been swamped at work because of that, and then with the rates dropping, people who like refinanced their houses and shit like a year ago are coming back now and like trying to do it again to get lower rates and stuff because the rates are just plummeting. And so we've had so many files or like loans that are even like in process that are just like trying to like re-app and stuff to get lower rates, and it's just been a fucking madhouse. But it's like with that, there's also been the other negative side of it of like appraisers and stuff trying to like go to houses and people won't let them in because of the coronavirus. So like appraisals aren't getting done and people are like canceling loans like mid loan like mid application whatever because of the coronavirus, they're like, yeah, we changed our mind. We don't want to buy uh, a house anymore because of the coronavirus going on. We'd rather just keep
It's
our
a
home.
reason to buy a house. You gotta stay away from people. You want to be comfortable when you're bunkered down somewhere.
Yeah, we've even had notaries who were supposed to go like to the person's house to sign and stuff, and it's like either the notary didn't show up because they didn't want to go, or they wouldn't let the notary like in the house, whatever, to like do the signing. So it's like we've had shit cancel like that too. So it's been pretty crazy.
That's wild. Are they allowing you guys to work from home?
I fucking wish. Right now, like underwriters and stuff could work from like they've always been able to work from home, and then recently, like, uh, one of the processing teams has laptops and stuff, so they're able to work from home as well. But like Megan's team and stuff, like they haven't been able to work from home, and it's like we can't either. Like closing can't. But what I guess they're kind of trying to do right now is set up. I guess they're gonna do an update here in like the next week or so to the computers, like to have the capability to do that, and like because schools are shutting down and shit, so people with kids are like having issues coming to work because there no one's
Yeah.
home to watch them.
Yeah. If there's no
So
daycares in schools, what the fuck are you supposed to do with your children?
exactly. So what they're having them do basically is like come to work and just take the computer and like monitors and everything and just take all that shit home and like set it up and work from home basically. So
Our work was insane. They like didn't want us to take our monitors and stuff, so they're like, "Give us your address. We're buying you new monitors and equipment and shipping it to your house." And then they just like Amazon that shit within like a day to everybody.
well yeah,
Like
because that's
I'm like,
I was
it's a
like
lot of money.
yeah, I was like that's our thing is because like everyone uses three monitors, so it's like I don't think
Okay, yeah,
US.
we're rocking two. Three is kind of a harder thing to tackle there.
Yeah, I was like, for like all our different programs and stuff, like, I don't think I could do. I mean, I could probably make do with two, but it's like one of those things where three, it just makes everything so much easier. Because on mine and stuff, I get so many fucking emails too. Like, I have one of my monitors shifted like vertically so I can see like 40 emails at once. So it's like easier to
Oh,
go
that's
through.
smart.
And like to look at docs and stuff, it's easier just have it open on like that screen. So instead of having to scroll a bunch, I can just have the full page open at once to like look at stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, we got an update email yesterday, and because we just like had a new building built in Tempe, and yeah, we were supposed to move into it in like April or May, and then they just emailed us yesterday and are like, we will not be reconvening in person until earliest in May. So it's like now I gotta get my office in order because it's a goddamn mess right now because we like desperately need a house. We have no room in our place, so like my office is just like a pigsty. We've got like a TV and a computer and all our Christmas gifts on the floor because we have no room to put anything. Like we got some gifts and I'm like I literally have nowhere to put this. Like my closet's like Tetris to the max, like just covered in shit. So like we desperately need a bigger place.
Dude, that's like, I've been, I'm like a little weird too, because like we're supposed to go to, for my birthday, we're supposed to go to Disneyland and like Universal Studios and stuff in May. And I'm like, man, I'm hoping, by April, like this is like not as
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I'd hope that by then they'd have something in play. Yeah, we've got a trip to L.A. and Six Flags in June, and then a trip to New York in December. I'm really glad we didn't end up booking that Japan trip this year, like we were planning on doing.
Well, yeah, see, we booked our Japan trip. We're supposed to be going last week of October, first week in November. So,
Oh, okay. Well, that's later on,
yeah.
so you should be fine.
But yeah, I'm like,
Um,
man, I hope it's cleared up by then because I mean, we bought the insurance on the flight and stuff too, so it's like luckily if God forbid like we couldn't go, at least like we're not out the like 2 grandish whatever for our plane tickets, but
yeah. Well, I mean, the airline should be responsible for that. That's insane. It's not people's fault that there's a global crisis going on and we're not allowed to travel.
right.
It was funny, like all this shit broke out. Like my sister-in-law and some of my other in-law family, they're over in Iceland right now. They went on Monday, and like the day they were there is when they announced like, oh hey, shutting down travel and stuff, and then they have to be in quarantine for 2 weeks when they come back, and they have to get tested and all this shit. Uh,
Well, dude, that's like it's just all over Facebook and stuff recently. There was because GDC got canceled and like E3 got canceled and all these different game conventions got canceled and stuff. And it's like, people had like their hotel bookings and flights and like whatever, and especially people from like other countries and stuff that were paying like an arm and a leg to fly out to like GDC if they didn't get the flight like insurance stuff. I mean, there's no GDC to come out to now, so it's like they can't like cancel like their flight. So it's like they just ate
yeah,
the price
absolutely.
of the ticket.
I have some friends where there's like this artist. I think his name's like Orville Peck or something like that. Orville something. I want to say it's Orville Peck. And they he had a concert here on Monday, and our friends for some reason they flew to Oklahoma because he's kind of like a hipster country act type of deal. And
Okay.
they had tickets and they flew to Oklahoma. Didn't go to the Phoenix show. The Phoenix show happened. The next day they canceled like all concerts, and they flew to fucking Oklahoma for no reason. It's sad, but that was one thing I was talking about too yesterday. Is like I've had such abysmal luck this year trying to get concert tickets for like literally anything I wanted to go to, and now I'm so stoked that I missed out on all those because now they've all been canceled or moved. So I'm like, hey, I'm not in the hole like hundreds of dollars waiting for this to be rescheduled. So it worked out well, but yeah, I was completely unsuccessful at getting any event tickets that I wanted to this year. But it
Yeah.
worked out.
Yeah, I was like, I'm glad I didn't like submit to Indicate or get tickets to GDC or anything like that this year because obviously that wasn't going to pan out well. Like I know Matt,
Yeah.
I was talking to him yesterday and he was kind of upset because for his card game and stuff, he was planning on going to like different expos and stuff to show off the card game in like Portland, and like he just did the one in Vegas and stuff like that, and he was planning on I think going to like I don't think he was going to GDC. Maybe he might have been. I don't know. But with all these like things canceled, he's planning on doing the Kickstarter in May for his card game, and it's like there all the events to show it off to help like build the hype for it and like get that like fan base going and stuff have all been canceled. So he's like, well, even like the local events and stuff here, it's like Phoenix Comic Con's probably gonna get canceled and all this shit. So he's like, fuck, like what are we gonna do
Yeah.
now to
I
like show
noticed
the game
there.
off?
Yeah, the second half of 2020 is going to be lit. Like every rescheduled event and movie and whatnot is just going to be like packed on packed on packed.
Dude, I was pissed that A Quiet Place 2 got pushed back. I was so excited for that. And
Yeah,
then,
man. Sony, Universal, and Disney have canceled all their releases for the next 2 months, dude. It's going to be a ghost town. You might as well freeze your A-list account because there ain't going to be nothing to see.
I was like, speaking of which, I just went and I saw Invisible Man recently.
Oh, yes, dude. It was fucking amazing.
It was
It was like,
so good. Like, I
dude,
loved it.
it was so good, man. Like I was blown away by how good that movie was. It was the best horror I've seen in a good while.
Yeah. Like,
It was amazing.
my only gripe about it was that whenever the suit became like visible.
Spoiler alerts for people who are
Yes,
haven't
all right.
seen Invisible Man.
Spoilers, but it's like spoiler, but not really like spoilery. But just like whenever, oh, because I did say so. All right, yes, spoilers.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot.
And
Okay,
it's not like any previous iteration of the Invisible Man. Let's say that.
correct. But yes, when he becomes visible at certain points, and it makes that like fucking annoying mechanical sound thing. Like we saw it in IMAX, and it was like that
Yes.
sound was like nails on a chalkboard to me, and I was like, God damn it! Like it's
Dude,
so
it was
fucking
so
loud.
clever. It was so clever because it was going on the first like hour plus of the movie, and I never could figure out what it was.
Yeah.
And then when you see the reveal of how he was actually accomplishing this, I'm like, fuck, that is so smart. Oh, I loved it. dude. And you know me, you've seen horror movies with me, and I'm just like a stickler. Like I don't get freaked out or tensed or free. Like I'm just a fucking robot watching horror movies, dude. But the paint scene got me, dude. I jumped out of my seat with the paint scene. Like
Dude, I
it
was like
got me good.
the part that made me jump and scared me the hardest was at the very beginning of the movie when she's walking through the house and she kicks that fucking dog bowl across the
Yeah,
floor.
that was
That's
intense. That was a
Yeah, that
tense
scared
scene.
the shit out of me, especially because I've done that. I can't tell you how many times in the middle of the night I've done that where Megan's like, go get me a bottle of water or something from the garage, and I'm like walking through the dining room and I kick a fucking dog bowl full of food across the floor, and I'm just like, fuck, and it like hit my foot. It scares the shit out of me.
And that's the brilliance too, like that opening scene. Like there's no dialogue, like you don't have the context of what's going on, but like you see how she is acting to this man like sleeping in the bed, and just how mortified she is with like every action she conveys and stuff. And it's like all that scene tells you everything you need to know about the backstory without having a lick of detail or actual information. But you know this guy is a fucker that you are to be scared of, and like it plays well. Like I adore that movie. It was so well made.
Well, and that's what was crazy was I was trying to think of another, like the other closest movie I could think of that like after I watched Invisible Man and came out of the theater, I felt the same way I felt after I watched Requiem for a Dream the first time, where I just felt fucking awful because it's like the movie wasn't even scary. It's like I just felt bad for her throughout like
Yeah,
90% of the movie. I'm just like, dude, like the shit that she's going through that's not her fault and like she's completely out of control of. I was like, it just broke my heart half the movie watching her have to deal with everything.
dude. And the director who was the Andrew, I can't remember his last name. He's the guy. He wrote the Saw and Insidious movies and stuff, and he was the one of the two guys in the original Saw that was chained up, not the famous one, the other guy.
Yeah,
He's the writer, and yeah, he directed this movie.
nice.
And he did a really cool technique in this movie where they do those slow pans, and then the camera would just sit on a set for like 40 seconds, and you're just sitting there waiting to see if anything moves or if there's some invisible motherfucker just standing there. And then oftentimes nothing would happen,
Yeah,
or like you'd just be sitting there and it'd just be something really subtle and moving, and then you'd be like, "Whoa!" And that was such an effective trick that they used, and he did that constantly. It'd just be like the camera would just sit there staring at nothing, and you'd just be like, the intensity in your brain, like, is this bastard there? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, it was. Oh, I loved it.
yeah. It's like I know
Well,
in the Paranormal Activity movies they would do that a lot too, where it's like you're just staring at nothing for a long time, and then like maybe like the subtlest thing will happen. And I remember when I watched Paranormal Activity 3 for the first time, they had one of the
hey, I remember that. I was there.
yeah, but they
That was
had
one of the few occasions I was being a pussy about a movie.
yeah, they had where the dude set up a camera on he like this like oscillating fan thing or whatever. He like disassembled it and then had the camera on the oscillating fan part so it was panning between like the two rooms like that back and forth. And the chick or whatever is on the phone talking and she's like going between the kitchen and like wherever, and so sometimes you don't see her and like sometimes and it's like panning back and forth, and you're like wondering what's going like because she's on the phone at one point and then she like stops talking and she's standing there and you're like sitting there trying to realize like what is she like looking at, like what's going on, and she's standing in the kitchen and then all of a sudden like the table, you don't realize it at first, but the table and like everything that was in the kitchen is like gone now, and then it all just like falls from the ceiling at once and like slams on the ground and scares the shit out of you. But at first you like don't realize, you're like what is she looking at, and then you realize, oh fuck, like everything that was in the kitchen is gone and then just like fell all at once.
Yeah, man. Horror. It's like the way to go. Trying to break in, man. Like, it's a lot of reactions you can get from an audience with simple tricks, and then they're cheap as fuck to make. So they're like guaranteed to make money if you can get distribution. It's the way to go. But they could do some really inventive things. Like, I really loved, James Wan stuff. I loved Insidious and The Conjuring, the main franchise films, not the spin-offs. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, speaking of which, the other movie that I went and saw in theaters recently was it was it Braun, the Boy 2.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Have you seen the
That's
Boy?
a Conjuring spinoff, right? No, no,
No,
it's not.
no, no,
No,
that's Annabelle.
I'm thinking of Annabelle, the other doll movie. Yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah. No, I remember Chantel. She wanted to see The Boy, the original one, when it came out, and I refused because it looked terrible.
okay,
But this new one looked a lot better. This one, I saw the trailer for. I'm like, hey, that actually looks like fairly well made.
so have you seen the Boy 1?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So I was like, I guess spoilers if you haven't seen, because I had never seen The Boy 1, but like my friend Jonathan, who I go see the movies with and stuff, he wanted to go see The Boy 2, but neither one of us had seen The Boy 1. So I was like, okay, fuck, well then I'll download it and we'll just watch it before we go see The Boy 2, so I'm not like completely left in the dark as to what the fuck's going on. And I had heard of, like, I'd seen pictures and like whatever of the Boy 1. I knew it was like a doll, and I assumed it was similar to Annabelle or whatever, that the doll's like possessed or something, like, is weird with the doll. And I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I had zero expectations when I watched the first one. I thought it was gonna be like, I was like, whatever, it's gonna be kind of like Annabelle. And like the last 20 minutes of that movie absolutely made it, and it was fantastic.
Good. That's
Because
cool.
so the like whole so the whole time, it's like the doll moves, but it only ever moves when no one is like watching it because he's shy or like whatever. And you assume the spirit of this like family's like kid or like whatever is in this doll, because the whole premise is some nanny chick or whatever comes to the UK to basically like do like a nanny gig, and she finds out that the boy she's supposed to be watching is actually this doll, and she thinks it's like a joke at first, and this family's like, no, like your job is to babysit like Braun, this doll. But they don't call him a doll. They think of him as like a boy. And she's like, oh, okay, like this is weird, and I kind of feel like I'm taking advantage of this family by doing this, but whatever. And then the doll starts like weird shit starts happening, and the doll starts moving and stuff when like nobody's watching it, and she's convinced that like the doll, something's like going on with the doll, that the doll's real or whatever. But in the last like 20 minutes, like her like ex abusive boyfriend, whatever, comes and is trying to get her to come back to the US and do whatever, and he ends up breaking the doll and like just shatters its fucking head, because it's like a porcelain doll. And like the lights kind of start to flicker, and you're like, oh, I'm like, okay, yeah, now like the spirit's loose or whatever, and it's gonna be whatever. And he hears something, and there's like noises coming from like upstairs and shit, and he like puts his ear to the wall where this mirror is, and he's like, I can hear something. And the fucking mirror explodes, and this fucking dude who's like 20, like 9, and wearing this doll mask comes bursting out the fucking wall and starts beating the shit out of him, and then grabs a piece of the fucking doll face and stabs him in the neck. And you find out that the doll was never possessed. The boy or whatever, their son who burned the fire, but he's been alive the entire time and just living in the walls of the house. And he's the one who's been moving the doll when nobody's been watching. And so it was never possessed. It was just being manipulated by him, and he's fucking crazy. And so after the doll broke, he went ape shit and started fucking like murdering everybody in the house.
Jesus, that's different.
Yeah, so I was like, that surprised the shit out of me, and I was like, dude, that is fucking awesome. And then of course at the end it shows like the doll kind of being glued back together and stuff like that. So I was actually pretty hyped for the second one, because I was like, I was completely surprised by the first one, so I was like, dude, this is probably gonna be kind of cool. I like the first one, and regret kind of sleeping on it. And I fucking hated the second one,
Oh
and
yeah,
I will tell
cool.
you why I hated the second one.
Lay it on me. Yeah, spoiler.
Because yeah, spoilers for the second one, but everything that was cool about the first one with the dude manipulating the doll and everything, it's like they took that and threw it in the fucking garbage, because that's not anything that happens in the second one. The second one, all of a sudden, like the doll does have like some demonic presence shit to it, and compels people to do shit, and the doll's been there throughout the ages, and has like caused kids to like or kids or people or whoever to like murder their family and like do whatever in the name of doll. And there's like all these pictures from like 1912 and shit with like the doll and like whatever. So then they kind of did this whole almost Annabelle-ish thing with it that didn't exist before. And I'm like, really? Like, you had this cool concept in the first movie that it wasn't the doll. It was this dude who apparently died or something. Like, they only brought him up briefly that like, oh yeah, he was living in the walls and then he passed away or something. And it's like, okay, so they just completely wrote all that shit off. And then the doll, even though its face was like glued back together and shit, it looked brand new, like it was never broken. And then they break it again.
So this is the same doll.
Yeah,
it's a continuation of the last movie.
Yeah, it was the exact same doll because the whole premise with this movie was that this family had someone like entered into their condo place, whatever, and like beat the wife and like traumatized the child so he doesn't speak anymore. And so to get out of the city, whatever, they want to go to like live on the countryside for a little bit to like kind of regather themselves. And they end up living at this guest house on this property, and of course the property is where the first movie took place. So they're like living at the guest house. So initially I was like, okay, well, the creepy dude who's living in the walls in the house is gonna like do shit to them or whatever in this guest house now or whatever, but because the kid found the doll buried out in the woods on the property and stuff. But no, yeah, nothing ended up happening. Like, there was no dude manipulating the doll. The doll, I guess, like, and this time you actually saw the doll like move and stuff without someone doing it. And I was like, that never happened in the first movie. And all of a sudden now the doll's doing this shit on its own. And then when they break the doll in this movie, instead of like, oh, like nothing happened, you know, in the first one, the doll broke besides the dude coming down and going ape shit. Like, there's nothing happened. But when the doll broke this time, there was like maggots and shit under it, and it had like, it caused this dude to like levitate and had like demonic power. And like, I'm like, none of this was in the first movie. And I'm like, why did you feel like the need to like fall back on this like kind of stereotypical horror trope when you had a good thing going for you in the first movie?
God damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that kind
sometimes when they swing for the fences it works, and sometimes it's just pretty wacky.
Yeah, so it kind of like broke my heart that I was like, I had no expectations for the series, and then the first movie made me excited for the second movie just so it could like rip it away from me again.
That's a bummer, man.
Yeah. I was like, have you seen anything recently?
I haven't seen a lot recently. Besides Invisible Man, last weekend I saw Onward, the new Pixar movie, and I had pretty low expectations because I didn't think it looked very good. I didn't really like the character design, or the concept kind of seemed like more like a DreamWorks movie, and that's essentially what we got. Like, as soon as the movie finished, when I came out, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to forget everything about this movie in like 2 hours. And it's almost a week later, and I can barely tell you what happened to that movie. I just know that it was not quite on the level of Pixar, just typical quality.
Well, and that's what was so weird, too, because like, for like marketing and stuff, they were pushing harder for this than they were Frozen 2 and shit, marketing-wise. And then all of a sudden, like, every time I saw a trailer for it, it's like Pixar and Disney. It's like guaranteed to make you laugh and cry, and it's like they were forcing it so hard. And I was like, they
were pushing the feels so hard in the marketing. Like, they're like, yeah, you'll be so great. And I'm like, it's not, dude. The weird thing about the movie is there's just barely any plot. Like, I mean, everything that you see in the trailer is what you can anticipate from the film, and everything plays out pretty much exactly how you would expect it to. Like, I couldn't tell you each one of those steps because I've already forgotten the entirety of the film, but I know that it wasn't anything special, that's for sure.
Yeah,
like, Toy Story 4 was surprising last year. Like, it was better than I anticipated. I don't think it's a highlight of the series, but I still think it was pretty good.
Yeah, I knew as they were pushing like it so hard on like it being emotional and stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna go waste my time.
Yeah, y'all have never had to do this before. People just cry when they watch WALL-E. They don't have to be told like, oh, WALL-E's gonna change your life. You're gonna be busting out the tissues. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I definitely noticed that as well. They're very heavy handedly trying to push for this thing. And it's also just an act of desperation because, like, it did not well in comparison to most of their other releases. So they kind of did like a pivot with their marketing where they're like doubling down on that real hard, kind of like the Birds of Prey situation from earlier this year, where it didn't do that well the first weekend. They're like, all right, we gotta make some moves here to try and get people in the theater.
They're like, it's the name. People don't like the name, so we're gonna
They
change it
don't
up.
know it's Harley Quinn. We gotta get Harley Quinn in the title, then they know that she's in it. They can't tell by seeing it all over every single bit of marketing and imagery. Like we,
Dude, that's what was so. It was funny. So when I did go and I had quite the experience when I went and saw it. Even though the movie sucked for The Boy 2, at least in my opinion, I had quite the experience going to see it because normally I go to AMC 30, but they weren't showing it at all. So I had to go over to Arrowhead to go see the movie. And usually, like, when I go to AMC 30, whatever, I'll get, like, Chipotle or Subway or whatever and smuggle it into the theater and eat it, like, before the movie
how do you
starts.
smuggle it without a purse, or does Megan just put it in her?
Well, yeah, Megan won't come. Like, most of the horror movies we go and see, like, Megan is not a horror movie person, so, like, she will not go. Like, she came when we saw Pet Cemetery and was freaked the fuck out, like, after the movie, so.
I won't go just because I think most of them are garbage. But like, if I think something looks like it has a certain quality of filming, or if it's like a particular property or novel that I'm into, then I'll go with her. But she's always complaining to me. She's like, "You never want to go to any horror movies." But I feel like I've gone to quite a bit the last few years because we really have been in a horror renaissance the last like 5 6 years. It's been a great time for horror movies. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh no, I was just gonna say yeah. I was like normally because I go with my friend Jonathan. He used to ride a motorcycle, so he'd just like pack it for me in his little motorcycle bag and stuff. But since he hasn't been riding a motorcycle now, for like Subway, I took the bag and I stretched it as like hard as I could, and then I took my jacket off and then slipped my arm through it and like wore it like a carried conceal under my jacket. And then for Subway, I was wearing like or Chipotle, I was wearing like a really baggy jacket, and I was able to stuff the burrito in one of the pockets of the jacket.
Hell yeah. Dude, I remember because I worked at this shitty movie theater for like a long time as a manager, and there was this one time where this motherfucker walked into the theater, and I could literally see that he'd stuffed an entire box of pizza in his t-shirt. Like he just had like the outline of a pizza box on his back, like he shoved it up the back of his shirt, and it was just so tight it was holding the box on his back. And I was like, damn, I gotta respect that. I'm just gonna let this guy through and not say anything. Because, like, that's incredible that he went through the effort to just shove an entire fucking pizza in his t shirt to try and get it in the theater.
Dude, my favorite experience that I've told everybody, because like when I talk about smuggling food, because I've like we smuggled Panda in there before in Megan's purse for movies and shit like that. But the best thing I think that ever got smuggled into the movie theater was when in high school. I think it was high school. Like when we went and saw the midnight showing of The Dark Knight. Uh, Shane fucking ordered a Pizza Hut pizza to the movie theater and gave them instructions to deliver it to like the side entrance whatever of the theater. So like he opened like the exit only door and took the pizza and just brought the entire pizza into the theater.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, back at that time, we were actually allowed to bring food into the theater. I miss those days. Shit. Because we used to go there. I think around like 2010, they canceled outside food. Because, like, I remember, like, because Dark Knight came out July 23rd, 2008. So we just graduated high school a couple months before that. And then, yeah, I remember like the year plus after that, I'd bring in Subway every week to the theater because you were allowed to, or Panda or whatever. And then eventually they're like, okay, you guys can't bring food in here anymore in like January of 2020. It was a bummer.
Right. So, yeah. So before I was like get too derailed, I was like, so went and saw The Boy 2, and I was like, oh man, because I was like, I'm hungry, and I was like, so I need to get food. And since we were at Arrowhead, I was like, I'll just grab something from the food court or whatever real quick and then bring it into the theater. So I went into the mall and stuff and got my Chipotle, put it in my pocket, and I was like, oh, cool. I was like, I'll just go down this way, whatever, and the theater's right there. So I did that, and then after the movie was over, we came out, and like I said goodbye to Jonathan and his wife and stuff, and I was trying to find the car, and I remembered I parked kind of far away, and I'm looking, and it's raining this entire time because it's been raining all fucking week, and I'm like, where did I park the car? And I was trying to remember, and I was like, this is this is the where I entered for the movie theater and stuff. So I was like, I swear it was here. And then I remembered I didn't park near the actual movie theater entrance. I parked on some side or whatever where Fired Pie was and shit, and I went through the food court, got food, and then came out a different side of the food court to go to the movies. So I was like, I'm not actually on this side. I was like, my car's on the other side of the mall. And it's like 10 at night now, and the mall's closed.
Oh, so it's closed, so you gotta walk around.
Yeah, so in the piss poor rain, I had to fucking walk through the parking lot all the way around the fucking mall to finally get to the car. It sucked.
Damn, that's funny. I don't know when I'll see a movie next. I never got around to seeing Sonic. Probably won't at this point until it's on streaming down the line.
Yeah, I was like, I have a ton of fucking movies down. Like, I downloaded Sonic, and I have.
I assume that's a cam copy if it's at this point, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it has like hard coded like Chinese subtitles, but it looks good. Like, it's a pretty decent quality. Same with like, I have like Parasite and like 19. I have all these good movies, so I just haven't watched any of them.
Oh yeah, Parasite's wonderful. I've been watching some TV here and there when I have opportunity. I've been, damn it, I got cats beating each other up right now. Stop it, old bitch.
Break it up.
All right, where was I? Been really into the HBO documentary McMillions. Just finished this week. That was a breeze, a little 6-hour series. I enjoyed that quite a bit. Did you watch that at all?
Are
you aware of it?
No, I don't even know what it's about.
Oh, okay. So it's like every year HBO has like a big production, like multi-part series, documentaries. Last year was the Michael Jackson one, which was only a 2-parter, but it was long as hell and crushed the entirety of the world.
Yeah,
but
I watched the one that they did about like Dr. Dre. And,
Dr. Dre,
I like that one.
Yes, that one was. I love that shit. I loved every second of that. I watched all 4 hours of episodes like the second they came out. Love that shit. But yeah, just like the Dr. Dre one, this is about so from 1989 to 2002. The McDonald's Monopoly game was rigged, and nobody ever legitimately won it. This one guy had access and was stealing the pieces, and he had this big scam where he'd sell them, and he'd have like these tiers of people that would sell them to people, and then they'd have to turn in the tickets, and they'd have to split money and stuff. And there was this huge, like, 13-year-long scam.
Yeah, I remember.
That was like huge.
What you're talking about, I remember hearing about it when the scandal came out, because yeah, he was selling the pieces to like friends and stuff, and like he had his hands like, and he would give them certain pieces and get like a cut or whatever. Like, yeah,
it was like this big criminal operation that like partially had like the mob involved and stuff, and it's insane. And yeah, it's this like 6-part documentary going over the whole history of how the FBI found it. And it's like with the FBI officers in charge of the program and the people at McDonald's that helped them bust the people. And like you see all the footage and the interviews they did of these criminals, and you get interviews with them and background and shit. It's like you see just like the snowball effect of like how insane this scam was and how many people's lives it's ruined. Like it's quite a watch. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. Yeah, it's supposed to be made into a movie at some point, but yeah, HBO beat him to it and made an actual doc. But there'll definitely be a feature adaptation of this like very soon. It's quite a story. It's definitely something that would make it a fantastic movie. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, great documentary series. I'm actually up to date on Better Call Saul, so I'm really stoked about that because it took me like over a year to watch season 4 because I was waiting for it to come on streaming services, and then I finally just bit the bullet and bought it because I don't steal shit off the internet anymore. So I finally, after being a dirty internet pirate for so many years, I finally got busted like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm like, I'm not gonna walk those waters again and get into some serious trouble. So I just have like every streaming service and stuff, so it's like whatever. So this year I pre-bought the season of Better Call Saul on Amazon, so every time a new episode comes out, I can just instantly watch it, and it's better than it's ever been, and it's always been amazing. So like I'm stoked. That show's so good. It's like Breaking Bad never left.
I was like, I still need that. I only ever watched season 1, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I still haven't even watched El Camino. So.
Dude, you're dropping the damn ball.
I know.
First it takes you like 9 months to see Into the Spider-Verse. Now I hear this. I'll never let it go. And now I hear this.
I know.
I'm disappointed.
It was really good though.
Like, it sure was.
It did take me.
Well, as is Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is amazing. El Camino is really good too, but it's like just like an extra unnecessary ending for Breaking Bad. But it's definitely a good watch, and brings you back to the memories of how wonderful that show was. But I mean, naming of the podcast wise, like, yeah, man, I have had nothing to play. Well, I've had things to play that have just been sitting dormant for months, but I just don't want to pick them back up after all this time. So I'm just anxiously awaiting Animal Crossing on the 20th.
Dude, you and me both. I've been playing. The only thing I've really been playing recently. Well, I was playing 2 things. I was playing one, Murder by Numbers. Came out on Switch, which it's basically Phoenix Wright, like Ace Attorney, mixed with a Pictocross puzzle game.
Is this that one game that's like, it's like the Phoenix Wright games and it's like based around like animals or something like that? Or am I thinking of something else?
I think you're thinking.
I'd seen some article about like a game from like the people that do like Phoenix Wright and stuff, where it's like, it's kind of like the attorney games, but like the culprits are all animals and stuff. I don't know. I barely read the article.
I was like, that does sound interesting. I was like, now I'm gonna have to try and find that game. But no, this one takes place in like I want to say it's like the 80s, and it's like there's this little computer dude Scout, and he, like, of course, typical anime trope, like lost his memory and stuff like that. And you play as this chick who plays a detective on TV, and she got like fired and whatever, and then her producer ends up murdered, and the robot dude's like, oh, well, you're a detective, like, I help you solve this murder or whatever, you can help me figure out like what happened to me. And she's like, well, I'm not a detective, I just play one on TV. And he's like, oh, that's fine. And so he like scans stuff, and then it's like you have to like do like the little pictocross thing. So it's almost kind of like Sudoku ish, but like whatever. And then it's like once you fill out the image, then it like turns into a pixelated object thing, and then you can use those objects to like interrogate people like Phoenix Wright and stuff, and do like prying questions, and it opens up dialogue between characters and stuff to try and get more clues and stuff.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Shit, did you play the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo?
No. I still need to. I've been meaning to. It's just I haven't even downloaded it yet, but I've heard.
Dude, I was blown away by it, dude. It was surprisingly very good. And like the detail is insane, like of how faithful they want to be to the original. Like the game started, and literally no joke, the sound beats, because I'm old and I've played that game a stupid amount of times in my life. Like I knew like the sound beats and like effects from the original game so well that like they masterfully recreated it in the opening of this game. Like every single sound effect or music cue or everything was exactly the same, like as the old game. Like it was nuts. It was like on point. The game itself was fucking hard. like like it came down to the wire for me. At least in the version that I was playing, like the like real time live version. I thought it was a lot of fun. I guess there's two different ways you can play it. You can do it turn based. Apparently, I didn't realize this until after I played the demo. But the regular version, it was quite a degree of difficulty. Like I didn't die, but I came pretty close at one point. And it took me a while to get through the boss. So like it's definitely it's got some difficulty to it. So it should be interesting. But gorgeous game. Highly looking forward to it. I'm curious because we know it's going to be like a multi-part game, like they did with like 13 and whatnot. Terrible, of course. 13. I had to mention it. I'm wondering if how they're gonna divvy it up, or if it's gonna be like maybe like in the original games, like when we had like 3 discs. Like, is it gonna end at the first disc of the original game and then whatnot? I don't know. It's a
Well,
lot of content to cover.
that's what was funny was I saw on Facebook someone where it was like the Final Fantasy demo. It's like please insert hard drive 2 for because it's like
That's
so
so funny.
fucking big. You know it's gonna be fucking massive, and then depending on how many parts they're doing, I'm like, whose PlayStation has enough fucking memory to hold all this shit?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, just have to beat part one, and then whenever they release the second part, remove that from your hard drive. You still got the save file. Just keep replacing. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how much they stretch out of this. Like if they're gonna make like 3 games, whatever, or if they're just gonna do it in like episodes and it's gonna be like a long running thing. Like I don't know. They haven't given enough information on the subject.
Yeah, I was like, I definitely am excited to play just because I've never really been a huge fan of like the turn taking aspect of Final Fantasy and stuff. So the fact that they made it kind of more actiony, like 15 and stuff, has
I
me
like
more
both. I'm an old
interested.
school guy. I love turn-based RPGs, but like I've played that turn-based RPG a lot in my life, so I'm looking forward to playing it in a different way.
Well,
And I
yeah,
enjoyed 15. I thought was really good. I didn't get super far into it, but I enjoyed it. It was very similar to like Kingdom Hearts, and they're going to a similar route here, except like those games, you can actually switch between the people you control to do different aspects. So I like it.
well, yeah, I see on the Switch sometimes you playing Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah, one of the other games I had been playing was called Under Hero, and
Sounds familiar. I don't know anything about it.
yeah, it's kind of like it's pixel art. I was gonna say it's kind of like Super Nintendo graphics, but I'd say it's better. It's definitely better than that because it's kind of like a mix. If I had to compare 3 games that it like remind, it's basically Undertale mixed with uh, Super Paper Mario mixed with Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
Oh, so you're creaming your jeans over there then playing that game.
Yeah, well, because it's like when you start out the game, you're playing as like the hero or whatever, and like you're gonna go defeat the final boss, like the evil Lord Stitches, and you arrive at the palace, and you're stopped by these little minion dudes who kind of look like Shy Guys, but they have little horns on their masks and stuff instead. And there was 3 of them, and then the 2 of them you're like doing some dialogue with the hero and stuff, and they're like, wait, where's the third one of us or whatever? And he cuts the like cord or whatever to this like chandelier, and it falls and murders the hero and the other 2 minions. And then you like walk over, and so you're playing as him now, and he picks up the hero's sword, and Lord Stitches is all like, "Hey, you killed the hero. Good job. I'm gonna tell everybody that I did it because you're just like a lowly like minion, whatever. But congratulations on murdering the hero, and you need to take these like 3 stones back to the 3 bosses or whatever that they were stolen from." And so you're like playing like as the bad guy, returning like the stones that were taken from the other bosses in these other like worlds and stuff. but all the while you're technically now the new hero, and you're gonna eventually overthrow Lord Stitches and stuff. In the end, so it's pretty interesting. And like
Yeah,
combat,
that sounds great.
yeah, dude, combat wise, it's kind of like it's a mix kind of between Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, and Super Paper Mario, where it's not direct turn taking. Everything's based on stamina. So you have like using your sword costs this much stamina, using like your mallet this much. You have a slingshot that uses this much, and then your stamina bar has to refill. But your enemies also have like stamina and shit, so they'll have points where they get tired and they like won't like be able to attack you and stuff. But you can like dodge their attacks and stuff, and by dodging or blocking their attacks, it helps refill your stamina faster, so you can get more moves off on them. And if you like land a hit to like the beat of the music and stuff too, it like does like a little bonus and stuff
Hell
like
yeah.
that. So it kind of has like a
So it's kind of got the
Crypt of the
it's kind
Necro
of
Dancer.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah,
It's kind of got that element to it. That's cool. Man, the indies these days, they're so extra. They got so many cool things for you to do.
I know. I was like, so I was playing that until Murder by Numbers came out, and then I've been playing Murder by Numbers, and then I'm basically gonna drop that as soon as Animal Crossing comes out, and that's gonna be my life for probably like a month until I get burnt out on that.
I was playing for a while there, and I need to just buck up and go back and finish it. I was playing Jedi Fallen Order. Um, this is not saying much. It's a very low bar to clear, but definitely the best Star Wars game I've played in like since Battlefront 2, the actual Battlefront 2, not the remake. Um, from back in the day. Yeah, it's really good Star Wars game, but it's like essentially just Uncharted or Tomb Raider with lightsabers and the Force. And I've blazed through all those games, so I'm like, why not? But that game's actually pretty fucking hard. Like combat wise, like I get my ass handed to me a lot. But yeah, I've got like one chapter left of the game, so I do this all the time. I'll sink several hours into a game and I'm so close and I just drop it. Like I need to just go back and finish it. I had some other games towards the end of last year that I'd started, but I didn't get into because I just didn't have the time for it. Like I started Death Stranding, and I was actually enjoyed it from the get go, but I'm like, I don't have the time to play a Kojima game. I know this. The only reason I got it was because Redbox was like getting rid of all their video games at the end of the year because they don't want to do video games anymore. So I was like, oh, I can get Death Stranding for like $15. I'll go pick that up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I haven't really been playing just between like having to work all the overtime and stuff. I haven't got to like do as much video gaming as I've wanted to, or watching shows or movies like as much. Uh, it was funny. Because I had like a bunch of movies and stuff on the home computer, and then it's like I have like a 500 gig old ass hard drive that has to be plugged into the wall and stuff, and it's like the size of like a fucking Harry Potter book from college. And then I had like I think it was 500 gig too, but I think it was just a passport, a little hard drive, like a little Seagate passport. And I was like, I had this red terabyte hard drive that had nothing on it, and I was like, why don't I just take all the movies from everything, all the hard drives, and just put it onto this 1 terabyte hard drive, and then that way it can just be plugged into the Xbox and you can watch like a bunch of movies or shows or whatever. So like one afternoon, I literally spent the entire afternoon transferring everything onto this one hard drive, and it blew me away how much of the shit I haven't watched. Like 90% of the movies, I would say, and TV shows and whatever that are on that hard drive, I have never watched. And I would say about 96% of the shit that's on there, I couldn't even tell you what it is. Or like so many of them are from 2015, and I swear to God, I must have been like high out of my mind just like downloading shit, because I'm like, I don't remember downloading any of these or like where any of this shit even came from. And like so much of it is from 2015, and I'm just like, I don't even know what this is about. Like some of the titles sound kind of familiar, and then others I'm just like, dude, Like it's like one's like this one movie from like 1968 or something, and I'm like, where did this come from? Like it's like blowing me away that like I ended up with all this shit that I have no idea where it came
That's
from.
funny. Well, it's a good time to have all that content available to you. 'Cause I ain't gonna be going to the movies anymore or shit like that. So hopefully these streaming services start getting some new content. Like I saw that Disney like took my it wasn't my advice, obviously I didn't see it, but like I was like they need to start dropping all this shit on Disney Plus like while people are quarantined and locked in their homes. And then they announced yesterday they're like we're dropping Frozen 2 this weekend on Disney Plus, and also you can buy Rise of Skywalker now if for some reason you would want to own that shitty film. You can buy it now.
I know, dude. I'm like waiting for WandaVision and I'm waiting for all the Marvel shit to finally just hit on Disney Plus.
Are they missing things on there?
Well, no, but just like the TV shows like WandaVision and
Oh.
Captain and Falcon.
Oh, well, you're going to be waiting a while now, sir.
Winter
They had to
Soldier.
halt production on those because of all this shit.
Man.
Yeah, all movie productions, like, around the globe and TV shows have been put on hiatus, like, indefinitely. So, like, it's going to be like the writer's strike of 2009, where we had, like, we're like kind of like you recall like Breaking Bad, the first season, it just ends with Tuco going crazy in the junkyard. And it was just kind of very like uncinematic ending. And then like the first episode of season 2 was that crazy shit with the shootout with Hank and stuff. That's because the writer's strike, they had to stop production on the show and just stop, and that's why the show just ends randomly in the first season, and it's so short. And we didn't have movies for a long time, and that's when we had like Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, because like productions weren't allowed to be going, so Joss Whedon's like workaround was to do like an online video blog to tell a story. Different times then. But it's essentially where we're going to be at now. There's going to be a lack of content because nothing can be made right now. So either we're going to have a surplus of shit all coming out at the second half of this year, or they're going to shelve it until next year, and it's just going to be like abysmally drought for the next like year and a half as far as like digital entertainment goes. Like it's shitty, man. It's gonna be a hard time. Great time for video games. Need to get all the video games out like as soon as possible.
Right. I was like, I still have my backlog on Netflix. It's just flooded anyway. Like I know season 3 of Castlevania just came out, and I really want to watch that. And then I still haven't watched like season 2 of You, or I marathoned the ending of BoJack Horseman. I'm glad that came out before all this shit happened.
I'm thinking about watching HBO's Chernobyl limited series from last year, given the times. It's supposed to be incredible, so I wanted to watch it anyway, but I think now it's like perfect timing.
Yeah, I was like, we tried watching Chernobyl. I think we only made it through like the first episode, and like Megan like said it was boring.
Thought it was boring.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like as soon as you started this sentence, like I don't think that's something that Megan would be into.
Right. What else? I was like, one of the only other things I've had really going on is fucking. I've had this like a pipe or something, like it didn't like burst. I think it's just like cracked or something in my front yard, but it's like leaking water, and it's creating like a really soft spot in my front yard. But my water bill hasn't gone up any, so I'm pretty sure it's like on the city's side of like me retrieving water. It's not on like my side where I'm getting like charged for like running water. But it had been going, like I noticed it maybe like, I don't know, a month or so ago, and I was like, man, I really need to call someone or the city to like get this looked at. And I just like let it keep going. And we had someone spraying for pest control the other day, and like stepped on it, and his like foot almost like fucking like went into the ground. He's like, hey man, you realize you got like a busted pipe or something? I'm like, yeah, I know, I really need to call the city. So I finally like emailed them, and they like sent someone out. Like they've obviously been fucking around in my yard, and they like flagged a bunch of shit where there's like the gas line and like internet and whatever. but I don't think they've actually done anything yet because of all the rain and shit. I don't think they've been out to actually like
Yeah, it's
fix
been
it.
terrible. I have this issue because we have two balconies in my condo, and one of them we turned into a catio for the cats so they can have their litter boxes out there and trees and stuff, and they don't have to make the house smell or whatever. But whenever it rains, especially when it's like heavy rain, like their patio like floods because the wind pushes the water into it, and there's only like a few drainage holes, and it's like cement. So then we've just got like a flooded patio because it's been pouring all week. So I've just been putting down towels and old sheets and shit to soak all that water up. So trying to keep it at bay. It only happens a couple times a year, but it's a bitch.
Yeah, I know my house smells like wet dog right now and I just feel bad because like with all the overtime and stuff too, like I had to call my mom and ask her to come by the house to let the dogs out of their crates because it's like I wasn't getting off work until like 7 at night, and I'm like, dude, they've been in their crates since like 7 o'clock in the morning. Like they need out. Because the last thing I want to do is come home to like someone having like shit in their crate, and that's the last thing I want to do after working fucking like 10 hours is have to go out front and fucking hose a crate off.
Yep. uh, Crazy times, man. Well, we just have a little less than a week till Animal Crossing, then I'll have some joy in my life.
Dude, I know. Speaking of which, it's pretty wild. I posted. I know I posted it on the Facebook to the do it for her picture with Isabel, but I'm in this Animal Crossing meme group, and I posted it there too, and that shit's at like 1.3 thousand likes. It like
Wow.
it like, that was my first taste of like having something like pretty much go viral in like a little contained group like that, and it's still going. Every time I go on Facebook, I have fucking more notifications. So I'm like wondering how high it's gonna go. But I was like, man, that blew up.
Amazing. Comment, tell them, follow me on Twitter, guys. Go share
I know,
this
right?
shit.
Like, hey, by the way, cause yeah,
Yo,
right now,
Facebook sucks. Can you guys go on Twitter and retweet this for me?
yeah, right now it's at 1,312.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
But but yeah, I'm very excited for Animal Crossing. I was like, I know, well, dang it, since I can't use his real name, since he's weird about that. He he messaged me on Facebook when was it? It was a couple days ago, I think, or whatever, asking me if I still worked at Target. Because he's trying to get, for his girlfriend or whatever, he's trying to get the Animal Crossing Switch, which I know he ended up getting, but he was asking me, like, if I still worked at Target to try and, like, I guess save him one or something. And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, dude, I'm like, if you're going to get one, I'm like, you need to be at Target, like, right before they open, because I guarantee you every Target probably only got, like, 4 max, because
Yep,
that's how
exactly.
Nintendo shit works, is we only ever got, like, when Amiibos were big and shit, and I did work at Target,
And you
like,
just put them in your fucking locker, you son of a bitch.
well,
You
I
always
would buy
hoard
them,
all the things.
like, because you can't technically you can't buy anything while you're on the clock, except for when you're on break, and so, yeah, I would, when the Amiibos were coming out, since I was the motherfucker stocking them, I would our break, because we'd work at like 4 in the morning to like do the truck and stuff to like noon or whatever. Our break would be at like 6 something in the morning before the stores even
Before they
opened.
open.
Yep. So we'd get the case of like Amiibo. So I know for the Splatoon 3-pack Amiibo and stuff, I know Matt really wanted it and stuff. So I bought 2 of them, and I bought one for Matt, and then I fucking sold the other one for like $60 on Craigslist.
You son of a bitch.
I know.
Took
I know.
half of the stock before they even opened.
Exactly. I know. But hey, I did it for other people. Like, I was like Robin Hood in that scenario, though, like with the Rosalina amiibo and stuff. I bought like 3 of them for like other people to make sure people got like the Rosalina.
I think hawking on Craigslist doesn't quantify as giving to the poor.
Hey, the only thing I hawked on Craigslist was the Splatoon one. That was the only one and Target never got any more of them. So I was like, if I still had it, that shit would probably be worth like $80, $100 now with the 3-pack.
Nice.
But yeah, I was like, I know Tony posted a huge thing on Twitter about being that ass because there's people with like the Switches who bought like 4 of them and are like selling them for like $400, $500 or whatever on Craigslist or Amazon or whatever now. And it's like, yeah, there's those people. See, I wasn't that. I didn't take like the entire stock of fucking Animal Crossing shit and like fucking flip it.
There's been occasions where I was gonna be that guy, like where I bought like when there was the pandemonium for like the Super NES classics. Like I bought 2 of them, and then I was like, I'm gonna sell this shit. And then like once I actually got both of them, I was like, which one of my friends needs one of these things? Like I'll sell it to you for the exact retail price. Like I just felt dirty about it, so then I just sold it to somebody I cared about who needed it.
Exactly. I'm like, to this day in the guest bedroom, I still have a Rosalina in the box amiibo because like I never sold it or got rid of my other one.
And she eventually became worthless when they mass produced her after
Exactly.
a couple
So
of
it's
years.
like not worth anything now. So I'm just like, well, whatever. I'll just leave it in the box, I guess. Like, because I haven't.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah.
Maybe one day it'll come back. I had the same thing with the yarn Yoshi. I've got that, and you see those fuckers everywhere. And I'm like, damn it, I didn't need to get all into this craze.
I know. I was like, kind of wanted to get like because I know the Animal Crossing amiibo and stuff are gonna work with the new Animal Crossing. So I was like, oh man, like all those like Animal Crossing amiibo from when the whatever Carnival Village game came out, like that shit that like you couldn't even sell on fucking clearance. That shit's now back up at like $15 like per amiibo and stuff because of Animal Crossing.
Hell yeah. I think I just have a Tom Nook one. Yeah, that's what all it looks like I have for Animal Crossing ones, but that's dope, man. I'm looking forward to it. Well, we have one bright light in our future coming here, so
I know.
I'll ride that way. Luckily, it's something that you can consume a fuck ton of time into on literally a daily basis. So, I'm ready for it.
Man, dude, and I invested a bunch of time into the Yu-Gi-Oh game too, man.
Yeah, I want to play you. I'm ready to play. I mean, if you invested a lot of time, you're probably gonna whoop my ass because you know the game a lot better than me. But yeah, I'm down to play.
Dude, I was like, if you're not doing anything after the podcast, I'd play a couple. I built a couple decks, so I'm excited to. I put like 60 hours into the fucking game to like get certain cards.
I put like 8.
I know. That's why it's gonna be fun though. Like I just want you to see the shit that I built and like know that like the reckoning's coming.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I can right after this podcast. I still haven't eaten today, so I'm gonna take care of that and do a couple things with the wife. But I've got a lot of availability. You know, if you want to hit me up, we can play at some point today if you're available later.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think after like having to work like pretty much like all last weekend and shit. Like I'm like, dude, this weekend I don't
100% agree.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do really anything. I need to work on more game shit though because
I do have some OT I need to do this weekend. I'm gonna try and push it off till tomorrow.
Yeah, I was like, I still need to work on more negative space stuff since I was working on it more again, and then like with all this shit and then just working a ton and stuff, like development on that has like slowed to like a steady halt, so I need to like get back at it.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a great way to end the podcast, us setting up our weekend plans. But it's been a joyous time. It's been a nice break from the chaos chatting with you here.
I know. I was happy. I missed the boy. I was like, I knew it'd been a couple months since I'd really talked to you, so I missed you.
Yeah, likewise. I'm always down to jump on this here show whenever you need a guest host. So yeah. I'm always ready for you. Obviously, I haven't gotten off the ground with my own shit, but I'll figure that out at some point.
Yeah, I was gonna totally hound you to be like, so
we're not gonna go there.
Yeah,
I'll do it at some point when I have some availability to do some artistic stuff.
Oh man, and I think we should end the podcast. I was actually gonna open the podcast with this question, but I think ending the podcast with this question is even better. All right, this is gonna be PBS themed question for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Fuck, marry, kill Arthur, Caillou, Clifford the Big Red Dog. Go.
I'm gonna. What was the second one?
Caillou, the little bald kid.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say Caillou. I have like no relation to. Like, I don't know anything about that show, so I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. um, um, well, well, fuck Arthur because he's got a good grip from the meme. And I'll marry Clifford because he's a big red dog.
Yeah, that's funny because that is my exact same three too, and I have no problem. Even though Caillou is a child, he is not a real child. He's like a fucking alien skinwalker. Like normal children don't look or talk like that, so I have no problem.
Maybe he's got cancer. Who knows?
All right, so then that's gonna wrap it up. Everyone, stay safe, and may your toilet paper be bountiful.